What's up, guys? I want to share the narrative I had for the Steelers. I did this code a little while back, and it's a code for the Penguins to win either the championship, Super Bowl, conference, whatever. An article came out from one of our big decoders. big decoders. I think his name is what's his name? Derek. He did a code when Prince Philip died, and the codes were tied to Big Ben. So it got me thinking, Brady and Ben have gone back and forth for years. I haven't checked out their full record, but Brady basically owns Ben for the most part. But Ben's got through him a couple times too, so he's beatable. But they're both were going for 7 wins. Now Ben wears number 7. I think someone said Brady used to wear number 7. So Ben's going for his 7th Super Bowl. It could be his last year, and he was drafted number 11. So the 11s and 7s are big numbers, but here's kind of what I saw in my decode. It's not too long, but it's interesting. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl with this code. I've asked other people, and they just kind of brush it off. So it's probably just a cool thing I found, but I thought I'd share with you guys because maybe there's something there. We've been fooled before. Like in 1979, I thought the Penguins and the Steelers this year could have potentially win because 7s and 11s. It's the year of 7s, but they didn't exist at all. And I'll show you. In 1979, the Steelers and the Penguins, the Pirates, they both won. Let me put the change on that. But I did see a narrative because they're all black and gold. So I looked and did some coding. Remember Baylor and Gonzaga? They had codes of Gonzaga had the 7s and Elgin Baylor. We thought Gonzaga was going to win, but they didn't. So what I've come to determine is on some of these future bets, maybe not go for the whole championship, the whole win, or maybe put a small bet on the big win, but also put some hedges on who's going to play each other, because I think that's where there could be some good money. You might lose one side or get the other side too, but it is what it is basically. So Ben had his best 11 games last year in his career to start off the season until Booger, some guy on the analyst on ESPN, said, "Oh, they're going to lose the next 3-4 games, something like that." Wasn't that funny? They did. So they dropped 38 balls over 3 games. Sorry, I verified it was 3 games. Now, if you remember, 38-3 are the dead for death. It was the death of the Steelers. And they played 3 games. Put that in there. This is unbelievable. 3 games over 12 days. And they lost 5 people got hurt. And ever since that day, the team just went downhill. I mean, they lost top players too, so excuses. But anyway, I am not sure why this computer is so slow because my YouTube's running perfect. It must be Patreon. I don't know. I just tried typing something in here. All right, there it is. So now there's 7 rings on Saturn, right? There's 7 rings of Saturn, 7 Super Bowls. Ben wears number 7, drafted number 11. Malkin, who's number 71, gets hurt, and they pick up number 77. Jeff Carter, Mike Sullivan, 77. I mean, come on, man. Right there, I was like, well, there's something to look at. Pittsburgh Penguins, 92 and 241, 53 prime. 97, 25 prime. Jeff Carter, number 92, like the Pittsburgh Penguins. 47 DN, like 15 prime, 61, 18 prime. Mike Sullivan, 77, like Jeff Carter. 48, 9 and 7. Stanley Cup 53, 16 prime, like 53 DN. I mean, the numbers kept stacking up on this. Pens lost the first round last year in the playoffs. Stanley Cup number 53, 16 prime, like Pittsburgh Penguins 53 prime. Or 53, 16 prime. So the narrative was Big Ben going for 7. Ben Roethlisberger, 921. Jeff Carter, 92, like Pittsburgh Penguins. Both were drafted number 11. Alabama is number 50. Steelers are 50 and 31, the 11th prime. Ben was drafted number 11, just like Jeff Carter. Najee Harris drafted number 1, equals 108, like Art Rooney. 108. 108 Rooney. Drafted number 11, like Jeff Carter, 77. McCann wears 70, and Malcolm wears 71. I'm like, huh, there it is. Steelers going Super Bowl. I mean, that's it, right? Yeah. Don't know. Um, and the media last year said, "Let the old man play." Ben said that about Brady, but he could have been saying it about himself. We don't know. Even though when someone says something, it can be mistaken as something you thought was different. Here's an example. I'll give you a perfect example. My father, when my brother died, was at the funeral. God rest my dad's soul. He lived to be 96. He said to my mom, "You know, my prayers came true." My mom's like, "What are you talking about, John? He died. Your son's gone. And I put him in the ground, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, I know." She's like, "What do you mean your prayers came true?" He goes, "I always prayed my brother left home when he was like 18, never came back. Maybe once." And he's like, "I always prayed my son would come home." He's like, "Well, John, he's dead." He goes, "Yeah, but he came home." So it just goes to tell when it says old man, let the old man play. Who are the oldest quarterbacks in football? Ben, Brady. I think Ben's going to be 40 this year. I don't think anyone else is older than Ben that I'm aware of. I think Aaron Rodgers is a couple years behind him, but everyone else the year Ben played, they all retired. So it makes sense that let the old man play. It sounds like it's going to be Ben. Then they changed the football to 17 games. So now let's take a look at this. Look below. Michael Petaway Tomlin. Who'd have thought Mike Tomlin was Petaway? Petaway? Where'd he get Petaway? Number Tom was number 92. He went to the original Catholic school that I looked up. I don't have all the data here, but it's tied somehow to the Jesuits schools of the country. It's like one of the oldest remaining schools or whatever. Look at some of these numbers. WDVE played. That's the radio station in Pittsburgh. The Steelers play in Latrobe, and they played a scrimmage game, and there was all these numbers tied to like Ben and the ones. It was 1-1-1. They were scrimmaging at 1-1-1. They scored like 7 points. I'm like, oh geez. So I kept digging and digging. I kept coming up with these different numbers, and I kept looking like Skull and Bones. 202, like 22. That's Najee Harris's number. You know, you keep looking at this. I couldn't decipher all these. This has been sitting in my inbox for some time now, but when you keep looking at this stuff, Ben Roethlisberger, 92. A lot of 64s. Old Man Standing, Mario Lemieux, 64. Petaway, 92. Raymond James Stadium, 66. Oh, Michael Petaway Tomlin, 101, like 11. Like Ben, like Jeff Carter. Crazy, huh? So look, Arthur Joseph Rooney, 108. They called him the Chief, 35 again, 35 DN, like 17 and 11 and 7 and 117. Now Alabama is at 31. It's the 11th prime, just like Ben and Carter and everything else. So the 7th prime is like Ben's number 7, going for number 7. 6th prime, Steelers sit on 6 Super Bowls, going for number 7. Again, Alabama 31, and you have number 50 for the Steelers. 108, Najee Harris. And I think 72 is in here somewhere too. Where did it go? There's a couple other numbers that I left out here. But that's the narrative from what I can see so far. So we're not sure what we're looking at this point, but it's interesting. Definitely interesting numbers. All right, guys, that's all I got for now. Take care.